Welcome to Top 5. I'm Heather Roos.
And I'm Aiyanna Wade.
This week, we're tackling possibly one of the most popular and respected trilogies in modern film history.
Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings trilogy has left a lasting impact and legacy on our culture.
Released in 2001, The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring started the trilogy off. The Two Towers was released in 2002 and Return of the King in 2003. The movies were received very well by both critics and audiences. In fact, it is still one of the highest grossing film series of all time, grossing an astounding $2.9 billion. The series has also won a great deal of awards. The trilogy as a whole has earned 30 Academy Award nominations, winning 17 of those. The most awarded film in the series was The Return of the King, which won all 11 awards it was nominated for, including Best Picture.
The music was also a piece of what made this trilogy so special. Howard Shore composed the score that was able to transport us to Middle-earth. Each location has its own sound that immediately makes you know where you are and what to feel about it. Emotional moments are heightened thanks to the melodies that really elevate the tale perfectly. I couldn't imagine what these films would be without the music.
Just in case you don't know, the basic storyline of the trilogy follows Frodo, a hobbit who is unknowingly gifted the one true Ring of Power, a weapon that could destroy all of Middle-earth if it falls back into the hands of its creator, Sauron. Frodo sets out on a journey to destroy the ring in the fires of Mount Doom where it was forged. He is accompanied by a group of travelers of different races that become known as the Fellowship of the Ring.
These are the top 5 best Lord of the Rings trilogy moments.
Number 5.
Release the river!
When we first meet the Ents, they appear to not wish to engage themselves in a battle that they don't believe is theirs to fight. They are truly neutral. Merry and Pippin spend some time with their leader, Treebeard. Pippin convinces him to go to the edge of the forest near Isengard. Once there, he sees the destruction caused by Saruman, who has been using the natural resources to build an army. Treebeard is enraged. He calls the Ents to battle as we see the real damage that these ancient spirits are capable of. They start hurling boulders at the orcs. Some orcs are even crushed beneath the mighty trees. Finally, Treebeard tells the Ents to rip apart the dam.
Break the dam!
Water violently rushes through the compound, destroying everything in its path, besides the Ents, who use their powerful root legs to stand their ground. Perhaps one of my favorite parts of this is Saruman's panic. He can only watch with dismay as the Ents attack, knowing that he's defeated. I also really like some of the details, like this Ent that was on fire that puts himself out in the floodwater. This is a scene truly worth cheering.
Number 4.
Go away. Go away! I hate you.
He started his existence as Smeagol, a hobbit, but once he killed his cousin Deagol to get the ring, his fate was sealed. Smeagol was immediately under the influence of the ring and recoiled to the mountains with it in his possession. For hundreds of years, Smeagol decayed into his form as Gollum, surviving on raw fish and his obsession with his precious. When the ring was taken from him, he eventually tracked it back to Frodo and attempted to get it back. When Frodo shows him pity, Gollum does his best to earn his mercy, but Gollum's not-so-inner voice puts up a fight. His split personality has an argument that's captivating to watch. Gollum's design somehow makes him simultaneously revolting and adorable. His big eyes are filled with sadness and hate. The special effects have also aged surprisingly well, allowing this scene to keep its impact. During his pathetic argument with himself, Andy Serkis does both the motion capture and voice of Smeagol. Serkis is able to make the vocal distinction between the two, and the audience is able to empathize with Smeagol while dismissing Gollum as lost to the greed and evil of the ring. Serkis's performance is a standout here and will always pull my heartstrings.
Number 3. Perhaps my favorite of all Sean Bean on-screen deaths, and he's got quite the repertoire. Poor guy. From the moment that the audience first meets Boromir, we are meant to be skeptical and untrusting of him. Yet we also feel strangely connected to him, as he seems the most human of all the characters. He is flawed, greedy, and stubborn. He wants the ring to be taken to Gondor to be used as a weapon. Again, a very human thing to think and do. All of this culminates in him attacking Frodo to steal the ring. The Fellowship is then ambushed in the forest by the Uruk-hai. Boromir sounds his horn to bring all of the army to him. He cuts down soldier after soldier until their captain starts firing arrows at him. Boromir takes the arrows and continues fighting. He struggles on despite being hit. Finally, he falls to his knees in defeat. Aragorn finds him, and they have a beautiful exchange.
I would have followed you, my brother. My captain. My king.
What I really love about this moment is how much it truly redeems the character of Boromir. He was able to die a noble death. Another sacrifice to the corruption yet ultimate destruction of the ring.
Number 2.
I am no man.
The Witch King of Angmar was a Captain Wraith who served Sauron and thought to be unstoppable. But the prophecy of Glorfindel said the Witch King would fall eventually, just not at the hands of man. During the Battle of Pelennor Fields, Éowyn watches her father crushed like a twig. She beheads the winged creature responsible and faces the Witch King directly. She narrowly holds her own when he utters, "No man could defeat him." Merry surprises the Witch King by stabbing him in the leg. Once wounded and sufficiently distracted, Éowyn informs him she isn't a man and stabs him where his face used to be, defeating him and fulfilling the prophecy. Some fans find this as a bit of a cop-out, that he wasn't technically killed by a man since he was defeated by a woman and a hobbit. For them, I offer a similar fate in Shakespeare's Scottish play. Macbeth is given a prophecy that he will come to power and that none of women born shall harm Macbeth. When he is eventually usurped as king by Macduff, we learn it's because Macduff was from his mother's womb untimely ripped. So basically we're splitting hairs over a C-section, but I argue therein lies the power of belief. The Witch King, second in command to Sauron, had seen great power and become overconfident in his abilities, going into battle against some humans, knowing none are capable of harming him, let alone killing him. I mean, I would get a little careless too. Ultimately, underestimating his opponents was his undoing, and Éowyn and Merry were able to use that against the Witch King to cause his downfall. And the number 1 best Lord of the Rings trilogy moment is...
You shall not pass!
Surrounded by orcs, barely started on their journey together, the Fellowship is outnumbered and things are looking bleak. When a fiery light appears, it is a blessing and a curse. Durin's Bane chases away the legion of orcs, which would be of some comfort, except the Fellowship then has to face a giant Balrog themselves. They attempt to evade it, but inevitably Gandalf must make the decision to split the bridge of Khazad-dûm and say his epic line. In that moment, the Balrog will not go down without a fight, literally, wrapping its whip around Gandalf's ankle and pulling him down as well. Gandalf the Grey's final words to the Fellowships are, "Fly, you fools." The line delivery is powerful, and the loss of a beloved character is heartbreaking. We've learned to love and trust Gandalf in such a short period of time. He's the reason anyone has made it to this point in the story. It's necessary for the ultimate rebirth as the powerful Gandalf the White, but in this instant, no one knows they'll ever see him again, and Gandalf made the ultimate sacrifice for the greater good, allowing Frodo to continue and destroy the ring. We want to hear what you guys think. What is your favorite Lord of the Rings trilogy moment?
What do you want us to cover next on the show? Leave a comment and let us know.
If you want to keep in touch, you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
And you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, or Twitch, where I stream on Wednesday nights.
We'll catch you back here next week on a brand new episode of Top 5, where we take a look at the worst Lord of the Rings trilogy moments.